Romance of the Three Kingdoms, Chapter 4. Cao Cao presents the sword. Dong Zhuo's cruelty and tyranny had brought devastation to the people, and his unchecked abuse of power stirred growing resentment throughout the empire. In Bohai, the warlord Yuan Shao secretly wrote a letter to Minister Wang Yun, expressing his willingness to join forces and eliminate Dong Zhuo. Wang Yun, too, longed to see Dong Zhuo removed, but he had no way to act on it. One day, during a banquet with old colleagues, Wang Yun became emotional after a few cups of wine. With tears in his eyes, he spoke of his helplessness and the weight in his heart. Among the guests was the young and ambitious cavalry commandant Cao Cao, who boldly stood and offered, "I am willing to assassinate Dong Zhuo tomorrow." Wang Yun and Cao Cao immediately left the banquet to speak in private. Cao Cao explained that he had earned Dong Zhuo's trust and could approach him with ease. He asked Wang Yun to lend him a treasured sword, which he could conceal and use to strike at the heart of a tyrant. Overjoyed, Wang Yun poured a cup of wine to honor Cao Cao. Cao Cao, in a solemn gesture, poured the wine onto the ground as a vow. Wang Yun brought forth the sword and handed it to Cao Cao, who hid it within his robes and departed. The next day, Cao Cao arrived at Dong Zhuo's residence wearing the concealed sword. Seeing Lu Bu present, he quickly improvised, saying he was late because his horse's saddle had broken. Dong Zhuo, unbothered, told Lu Bu to fetch a new horse as a gift. Once Lu Bu had gone, Dong Zhuo reclined lazily on his bed. Cao Cao quietly reached for his sword, but just as he prepared to strike, Dong Zhuo caught sight of him in a nearby mirror. "What are you doing?" Dong Zhuo asked suspiciously. At that very moment, Lu Bu returned leading the horse. Thinking fast, Cao Cao dropped to his knees and said, "My lord, I've come to present you with a treasured sword as a gift." Dong Zhuo, delighted, took the sword and invited Cao Cao outside to look at the horse. Cao Cao asked if he could test ride it, and Dong Zhuo agreed. Leading the horse from the residence, Cao Cao mounted it in one swift motion and galloped away at full speed, racing southeast. Lu Bu was immediately suspicious of Cao Cao's excuse, and Dong Zhuo shared his doubts. He sent men to summon Cao Cao for questioning, only to discover that he had already vanished. Furious, Dong Zhuo issued an imperial warrant, a massive reward to anyone who could capture Cao Cao and expose his co-conspirators. Cao Cao fled to Zhongmu County, but was captured along the way. Just when all seemed lost, a local magistrate named Chen Gong, moved by Cao Cao's courage and sense of justice, rescued him and even resigned from office to join him on his escape. Later, while seeking shelter, Cao Cao stayed at the home of his oath uncle, Lu Boshe. But Cao Cao, ever suspicious by nature, convinced himself that Lu might betray him. In a brutal act of paranoia, Cao Cao slaughtered Lu Boshe's entire family while they slept. Chen Gong, shocked by the ruthless act, realized that Cao Cao was not the noble hero he had believed. Disillusioned, he quietly parted ways with him